had a chance to catch up with Chris Yeager, head coach of the Lynchburg College men's soccer team this past Tuesday. Coach Yeager talked about a big week coming up for the Hornets. It started on Wednesday and continues throughout the weekend. ODAC plays getting ready to start. Go catch a game over at Schellenberger Field or any ODAC field, and you'll see some good soccer. Chris Yeager talks about his team, some of the leadership roles, and much, much more. It's Chris Yeager, head coach, Lynchburg College Hornets, on the Sports Buffet podcast. Always fun to come to Lynchburg College to talk men's soccer because I get to talk to Chris Yeager, head coach of the Hornets. Coach, early on in the season, learning some things with a young team. What do you think the players are learning?
Good question. We're taking our lumps right now. Our schedule is extremely difficult. We've already played 2 top 25 teams in the country, and then we'll see number 12 Salisbury tomorrow. So it doesn't get any easier for us. But the whole idea is to learn as much as we possibly can going into ODAC play, which starts over the weekend, and just grow and be there at the end for the tournament, basically. We have to qualify for the tournament first and then go from there.
Explain what you can do with your guys in the off season.
Not a lot. I mean, we get you either get 4 or 5 weeks now. They just changed the rules. Went from 4 to 5. You get 16 practices and basically 15 practices and 1 play date. But mainly in the off season, guys are playing on their own. Our guys play 3 to 5 times a week on their own. Captains run it, and a lot of lifting in the off season. We just got a new strength and conditioning coach, so kind of going through all that to figure out what they can do with him as well. But it's a culture now that the guys know that the day the season's over, they're already out playing and lifting, and we lift during the season as well too. So it's an ongoing process, basically.
Give me the role of what you want your captains to do in the off season and in the season, and talk a little bit about their leadership.
A lot of it's just, like you said, it's a leadership aspect of it, being a good example in and out of the classroom, and then off the field, basically, just teaching them what they're supposed to do, basically, as a student athlete. In the weight room, 3 to 4 times a week, and just doing as much as they possibly can to get better. They know that if they're not out there playing, then there's an issue. So it's up to the captains to kind of stay on them and try to guide them in the right way.
This is not your first year, obviously, doing this. You've been doing this for a little while. Do you find it harder to assimilate freshmen now into a team, or was it harder back, years and years ago?
No, I think it's always a process. I sat at lunch with them today and just kind of laughed and we're amazed that we've only been in for, I think it's like 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been about 6 months because we spend so much time together.
Is that good or bad, though?
No, it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's definitely a good thing. I mean, it's a long process,
right.
But a lot of times in the fall we have trouble getting to know the young guys because it's so fast of a season. There's so much going on academically that their heads are spinning. So are ours. So basically, once the season ends, then it's kind of slow down, get to know them even more. But they, that's part of the success too, is they have to integrate with the older guys, and if the older guys bring them in the right way, then we'll be fine. But if you have that separation of new guys and old guys, then it becomes an issue.
When recruiting, obviously you're looking for good soccer players, but how much of it is personality of, is this guy going to fit in with his team and so forth?
Oh, there's a lot of that. I mean, there's a ton of good soccer players out there. Part of it's trying to see what's the best fit for them. We talk a lot about that in the recruiting process. When you come here, is Lynchburg the right place for you? I want you to be here for 4 years and be happy, right. Whether it's on the soccer team or in the classroom or socially. I want you to come out of it in 4 years and go, I would do it again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Because that's all the experiences we had as coaches. My whole coaching staff has gone through small schools. I did as well. And Lynchburg gives a great opportunity for that. You can be in student government. You can do the fraternity aspect, all different types of things, and even internships. We want them to get involved in everything possible, so that do as much as you possibly can in the 4 years, because once it's gone, and it goes by very quickly.
Let's talk a little bit about the team as a whole. What are you seeing out of your group that you like so far?
We have such a young group that I'm seeing a lot of fight out of them. I mean, each game we went down, 2-0 to Franklin and Marshall, top 25 team, and we battled back and tied it up and took them to overtime. So, with some of the teams we've had in the past, there are teams that would have given up, and this team didn't. And we're pretty happy with that. The freshmen are really battling for spots, and and it's been a good experience so far. I think we'd like a few more wins, but hopefully that'll come later in the season too.
Talk about some of your returning players and who's impressed you in that route.
Obviously, Relaford. I mean, Michael Relaford in goal from Blacksburg. I mean, he's pretty special. We obviously want more out of him, but that's with everybody. But he's he's a junior captain, and we're asking a lot out of him. You've got Chaz Ashton, who's a junior captain too. He's playing center back for us, and he's done very well. Right up the line, you got a sophomore center back in Josh Hinkle, outside right back, Eric Boggs, sophomore. So he's kind of go all the way up there. Michael Venegas in the center mid's been very good for us. He's a junior. He's coming back from a broken leg, so it's good to see him in top physical condition and playing his best.
Is it sometimes, and I'm going to focus on Relaford here for a moment because I know he came from a great program in Blacksburg with Shelley Blumenthal. When you got a guy that you're getting from a Blacksburg or a JF, somebody that has a traditional soccer program, does it make your job easier in a way, if you get what I'm saying?
I don't know if it makes it easier, but it definitely is part of that culture that we want. We want a culture that that the guys are winners,
right,
and that they've been there before, they've done that, and that's how they act on the field too. But yeah, it definitely helps. Shelley does a great job. Jed does a great job as well. And we give Shelley a hard time all the time, so it's a lot of fun. But same thing with Jed. But no, it is. They know what to expect when they come in here. Same thing. We're going for our fourth conference championship appearance in 4 years, and that's impressive. We want to do that. That's our goal. And it's basically an expectation from our returning players. So when we bring in guys like a Relaford or someone from the JF area that they already know it, they already understand it, and they know the pressures that are there already. So that definitely helps.
When you look at the ODAC as a whole, what do you see?
A lot of parity. We've seen Roanoke now. We've seen them play 4 games, and they're very good. They're going to be definitely there in the end if they stay healthy. It's the same thing. I think Virginia Wesleyan's kind of up and down. They're showing some weird results, and I think we're going to see that throughout the year from all of the ODAC. Nobody's really established themselves as the top dog yet. But a lot of it, too, is because of the scheduling we're all playing. I mean, I think a lot of us could be 5-0 and 6-0 right now if we played a lot softer schedule, but we don't. So it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think anybody will run the table and go undefeated in the conference. I just don't see that happening. I think you're going to see some of the teams that have been in the bottom of the conference are going to start working their way back up and getting in the middle of it. They have new coaches, new players, and all that. So, and then you have Shenandoah jumping in there, and we don't know what to expect from them. So I don't know what's going to happen. So we're just, like I said, our goal is going to be to make the tournament, because there are some really good teams that didn't make the tournament last year. So, and now you add one more that can take a spot away.
Well, we will definitely stay tuned. Final thing, as a Pittsburgh sports fan, which I know you are, I've got to ask 2 questions. A, I'm assuming the Steelers will bounce back. B, how about them Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yeah, I was telling somebody today that I'm a big Pirates, Steelers, and Flyers fan. Right. And I said it was because I was probably...
Flyers?
Flyers, yeah. No pens.
Okay.
No pens. Yeah, Flyers.
How did
Flyers.
that happen?
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, I was born not too long ago, but when they were all really successful,
right.
And we were kind of comparing that a lot of my friends now or kids now that I coach are born in the 80s and 90s, right. And you follow the team. So it's been neat to see the Pirates come up and give us a chance. I
didn't even know they had baseball in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was a Barry Bonds, Bonilla fan back
right.
then. I still remember Sid Bream and the Braves,
right.
that killing us. So, but yeah, it's fun. I'm sure the Steelers will bounce back, and you can kind of see the confidence in them and Mike Tomlin as well. He's just like, it's only game 1. There's a lot more to go. So,
what other coaches in the professional sports or even college sports ranks can you watch from afar and pick up stuff from?
Yeah, I mean, I like to watch Tomlin. I mean, I think that's like I said, I'm a big Steelers fan, so I can watch him and just hearing the way he went through like the interview process, and it was supposed to be I forget who it was. I think he went to the Cardinals at the time. Yeah, Wisenhunt. It was supposed to be his job. Mm-hmm. And here comes Tomlin, and he just blew him away supposedly, and told him what he was going to do 5 years down the road, 10 years, right. And had everything mapped out. And it kind of reminds you that you got to look way ahead rather than just today, but all the way down the road too. So it's been fun to watch that, and I was a Pat Riley fan and like all the Lou Holtz, that era. So it's been fun to try to watch these younger coaches come up now. And it doesn't matter if it's football or soccer, watching Alex Ferguson from Manchester United, stuff like that, just trying to see what they do differently. And we steal everything. That's what we do as coaches. You try to steal other people's stuff. So
yeah, I've always believed good coaches can learn from good coaches. Sports can, cross, but a good coach is a good coach.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Watching the Olympics, watching some of the coaches there and seeing what they do. And they were just talking about ESPN Radio this morning, talking about the way I forget who it was, but he was one of the NFL coaches. It was an onside kick in the Super Bowl, and this, all these things that he took these chances on. They were successful, but if he wasn't, what would have happened then too? So sometimes you have to take those chances and those risks and believe in yourself. So, but yeah, I love to learn from all of them. I do a lot of readings on leadership, and any coach I can find that has a good book out there, I'll read.
Never a chance interviewing Chris Yeager because it's always going to be a good time, Coach. Definitely appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thank you.